It's absolutely apptacular. The Subject Cinema Android app. Everything you need to be a rabid Subject Cinema fan. Subject Cinema, 3-Minute Weekend, Tuesday Digidex, and Front Row 5 and 10. All right at your fingertips and available instantly. Plus, email and voicemail links, Facebook and Twitter hookups, Patreon support specials, and more is coming real soon. Don't just listen, app it. The all-in-one Subject Cinema podcast app. Android version available now at Google Play or on PNRNetwork websites. Amazon and iPhone apps coming soon. Don't delay. Download today.
Blueberry. This podcast is a member of the Blueberry Network. Blueberry. No E's. That's Blueberry, BLUBRRY.com. Blueberry.com.
This podcast is a proud member of the Lamb Podcasting Network. Find the network at largeassmovieblogs.com.
On air, online, on now. From the hub of the universe, Boston, Massachusetts, USA, this is Subject Cinema, with your hosts, T.C. Kirkham and Kim Brown. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome TC and Kim.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
It is Monday, February 25th, 2019.
Yep.
Welcome to Subject Cinema's annual Oscar weekend special. I'm T.C. Kirkham.
I'm Kim Brown.
We are going to run down the winners of the Spirit Awards, the Razzie Awards, and, of course, the Academy Awards, which all occurred this past weekend. And, of course, all Hollywood is going nuts over awards. Awards are a big thing. And this year was hard. Everybody was predicting different stuff, and things were coming out, and people were going like, well, everything's different is winning each of the other early awards, like the Critics' Choice, the Writers Guild, the Directors Guild, the Producers Guild.
Personally, I think that's great.
Yeah. Just kind of
it's so boring when the same thing wins every single award. You know, it's so dull.
It's predictable.
Yes.
It's predictable. I mean, we'll talk more about the Oscars when we get to it, but you actually sat through 90% of it.
Yes, I did.
Normally she doesn't. She was waiting to see Lady Gaga. So.
Yes, I was.
Yeah. All right.
Hail Mother Monster.
Let's kick off with Saturday's Film Independent Spirit Awards. These are given by Film Independent and whichever magazine that is, too. We are voting members of the Spirit Awards.
Yep.
And we vote on these. I didn't really vote much this year because we didn't see much of them this last year, but we were keeping track of them. The ceremony was on Saturday afternoon, as usual, in the gigantic tent on Santa Monica Beach.
Yep.
Aubrey Plaza hosted. We didn't see it. I didn't see it this year. It got pretty good notices. Most people weren't too upset with it. Of course, the Independent Spirit Awards has certain limits and certain price ranges you can go in. The top limit for most films is the films have to be made for $20 million or less and not be a major like a major studio film.
Right.
So there's all kinds of weird things going on. But a lot of these the last few years, they've had several crossovers with the Oscars each year.
Yep.
This year was a little different, though.
That's true. There were a lot of films that I think that, you know, the thing about the Independent Spirit Awards is they take pride in rewarding films that people have to really search out sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's great. I mean, you and I have gone through that now, because we're getting, we've gotten more involved and gone away from the multiplex and gone, 50-50 when it comes to multiplex stuff and indie stuff. It's a little bit of both.
I think we're even more than that. I think we're more like 70-30 indie.
You think so?
What the heck's happening to my screen here? I'm trying to get it so I can move it around and it won't let me do it. All right, there we go. Let's kick things off with the Spirit Awards. Best Picture at the Spirit Awards, Best Feature, went to If Beale Street Could Talk, the new film from director Barry Jenkins, also producer. He was a favorite from Moonlight. Moonlighting. That's a TV series.
Moonlight. Best First Feature, which is an award given to the director and producer, went to...
It's the top one.
Went to Sorry to Bother You. Director Boots Riley, producers Nina Yang Bongiovi, Jonathan Duffy, Charles D. King, George Rush, Forrest Whitaker, and Kelly Williams.
I don't think we need to go through all that stuff on these.
Okay.
The John Cassavetes Award, which is awarded every year to the best feature made for under $500,000. This year went to In El Septimo Dia from writer, director, producer Jim McKay. That's one of those films that our listeners probably have never heard of. I've only heard of it because we keep track of that stuff.
The Best Director Independent Spirit Award went to Barry Jenkins for If Beale Street Could Talk.
Best Screenplay to Nicole Holofcener and Jeff Whitty for Can You Ever Forgive Me?
Best First Screenplay went to Bo Burnham for 8th Grade.
An award he also won Best Original Screenplay at the Writers Guild. He wasn't even nominated for an Oscar, which I thought was really crazy. Best Cinematography, I'm going to get this name wrong, went to Seombu Mukdipram, I hope that's close, for Luca Guadagnino's remake of Suspiria.
Best Editing went to Joe Binney for You Were Never Really Here.
Best Female Lead, Glenn Close for The Wife.
Best Male Lead, Ethan Hawke for First Reformed.
Another performance that everybody said should have been on it. He was on all the critics list and he was completely shut out of the Oscars, which was just wrong. Best Supporting Female, Regina King for If Beale Street Could Talk.
Best Supporting Male went to Richard E. Grant for Can You Ever Forgive Me?
The Robert Altman Award, which is the casting award, went to Suspiria.
And the Best Documentary Award went to Won't You Be My Neighbor?
What? No, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo over here?
Well, I'm trying to do this in a way that I'm trying to sound mature and stuff like that. Trust me, inside I'm doing the Snoopy happy dance.
Best International Film went to Roma, director Alfonso Cuarón.
And the Bonnie Award, which is an award given to a mid-career female director with a $50,000 unrestricted grant sponsored by American Airlines, and that went to Deborah Granick.
Deborah Granick, of course, the director of Leave No Trace this last year, one of the critically acclaimed hit. Producers Award, which goes to emerging producers, despite highly limited resources, that demonstrate the creativity, tenacity, and vision required to produce quality independent films. That also includes a grant, went to Shirahari Sathi. I'm not sure which film that he's best known for. The
Someone to Watch Award, which it was presented to a talented filmmaker of singular vision who has not yet received appropriate recognition. That award includes a $25,000 unrestricted grant. That went to Alex Murado, who is the director of Socrates.
And the Truer Than Fiction Award goes to an emerging director of nonfiction features who has not yet received significant recognition. Also includes that $25,000 unrestricted grant. Went to Bing Liu for Minding the Gap.
Woo!
So
never mind
awesome.
being like,
yeah.
And woohoo to Won't You Be My Neighbor, which should have been nominated for an Oscar, and a big stone cold salute to the Oscar board for not doing that.
I
know Fred wouldn't be happy with me for
that it didn't get an Oscar nomination.
Sucks.
But it did win here. It won a couple of other awards. So all of our three favorite docs have won something somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, Won't You Be My Neighbor and Minding the Gap and The third one, which actually isn't a favorite, but we haven't seen it yet, but I want to see it coming up when we get to the Oscars. So we'll talk about that in a minute.
But now we've done the highs, so now we have to do the lows.
Yes, they gathered again in California, I think probably Hollywood. I'm not sure where they gathered for this one. For the 2018 edition, 19, of course, given for 2018, the 2019 Golden Raspberry Awards. I don't know why why is there a P in raspberry?
We're going to go through this again?
Yes, we are. The Razzies. These are the worst of the worst, usually. Although I still have a problem with these awards, which I say every year, because they're only voted on by paying members of the Golden Raspberry site. And so many times they don't really go for bad films. They just go for films they have a reason to hate on, which was very evident during the years that the Twilight films were coming out. Those were not necessarily bad films.
They weren't the worst films out there, but since then it was cool to hate on Twilight. They did seem to jump on them a lot.
Yeah.
But the Razzies are the worst of the worst, so we might, since you started the
go ahead.
I'll start here. The worst picture, according to the Razzies, the winner. Yeah. The winner was Holmes and Watson.
Its competition was Gaudy, which got horrible reviews.
Yep.
The Happy Time Murders, which got horrible reviews. Robin Hood, which got horrible reviews. And Winchester, which I don't know how Helen Mirren ended up in that. Worst actress went to Melissa McCarthy for both The Happy Time Murders and Life of the Party.
Mm-hmm. Worst actor went to Donald Trump as himself for Death of a Nation and Fahrenheit 11/9.
See, this is another one of those, well, we're just going to do it because we can do it. Not really worst. It's not an actor. They're both documentaries. Worst supporting actor went to John C. Reilly for Holmes and Watson.
Worst supporting actress went to Kellyanne Conway as herself for Fahrenheit 11/9.
Again, see before. Worst screen combo, once again, Donald J. Trump and his self-perpetuating pettiness, Death of a Nation, and Fahrenheit 11/9. Again, not really, I don't know. At least that one's close. I suppose I could see that one.
Yeah. Worst remake, ripoff, or sequel went to Holmes and Watson.
Worst director went to Ethan Coen for Holmes and Watson.
Worst screenplay went to 50 Shades Freed.
What? No Holmes and Watson? Wow. So
it wasn't even nominated, strangely enough.
The same movies that were nominated for best. Well, Death of a Nation, again, that was a documentary. It was a quasi-documentary. Mm-hmm. So, these were quite interesting out there as usual. But again, I just don't think that the Trump nominations were really all that. When you have so many other movies that are bad, you could actually go for bad. Name a bad documentary. That's a different story, but they never do that here. All right. Now let's get to what everybody wants to know about.
Yep.
Who's wearing what? Who's doing whom? Who's looking on TV well? And who made an ass of themselves? It's the 90th or 91st, I forget which, Annual Academy Awards broadcast live last night within their time zone. They were booked from 8 to 11:30. They finished at 11:19. I'm really impressed. No hosts. What do you think of no hosts?
I love it.
I think that's brilliant.
I love it.
There's some people complaining about it, but I'll tell you, it moves so smoothly.
Everything
This was the best Oscars
fine.
we've watched in a number of years.
Yep.
We've skipped them the last couple of years because we were just bored with all the political stuff. This was fun. It was exciting. That there was not very little politicking, which was nice. Although what was there was movie oriented, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. It opened with Queen and Adam Lambert doing We Will Rock You, We Are the Champions. I wish I'd known they were on first because we missed the first minute or so of the show. I thought it started at 8:30, and it was like, that stinks because they were really terrific.
It was amazing. We were lucky enough to see Queen and Adam Lambert. At the Boston Garden, the new garden.
Their show was phenomenal.
It was amazing.
They are great. They're touring again this summer. You might want to check them out again.
Yeah, they are incredible together, and I'd love to think that somewhere Freddie is watching with a big smile Yeah. And it
Was
was really beautiful.
Now, was that lady that looked like Linda McMahon, was that Brian May's wife?
I don't know who she is. I don't know.
They showed her a number of times sitting between the two of them.
Personally, I think she's much prettier, but...
Fashion-wise...
It was the
night of the weird dresses.
Well, that's not unusual for the Oscars.
No,
Every
but
year
not
somebody
this crazy.
No, I don't agree with that. That one year that Cher...
Oh, well, Cher doesn't count.
I'm sorry.
Cher doesn't count.
That's a great drinking game. Take a drink every time you have to go. That one year that Cher wore, you'll be dead of alcohol poisoning in about 5 minutes. No. That one year that Cher wore, the dress was really nice. That black dress, but the thing on her head that looked like a potato chip? Seriously. And that one year that Jennifer Lopez wore that dress, kind of. The green dress, you know the one I mean.
Yeah.
This year, this was...
Oh, it could have been worse. It could have been Bjork and her swan. That was terrifying. Her neck thing, the strap around her neck was in the shape of a swan.
Well, and the body of the swan made up the rest of the dress. Yeah. And then I said that. I was like, it's a swan. And you were like, no, it's not. I'm like, it's got a head. And you were like, oh, yeah, it does. But...
I think that's the most goofy outfit I've ever seen.
This year was the year of
oh my God, turn it off, I'm blind.
There was a lot of puffiness.
Right from the get-go.
Puffy dresses.
The show opened with Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, Maya Rudolph, Tina and Amy looking gorgeous. Maya looked like she pulled a curtain off the wall and wrapped it around her.
That's not nice.
I'm sorry, that pink thing was hideous.
I liked the cut.
Oh, no, it was horrible. It was awful. I'm sorry, Maya. I love Maya Rudolph. She's one of my favorite actresses. I thought it was terrible.
So I'll just sit over here and knit, shall I? Because you're just gonna, I'm just kidding.
Don't be bitchy.
I'm just saying.
You think you were a critic today.
No, I'm not whining. I liked the cut of the outfit. If it had been a solid color other than pink, because I don't do pink.
An ass cop? Any solid color except pink, like the dog show. Any solid color except black.
I don't know. I think that dress done in a navy blue would have been really nice. Maybe with a little silver trim to it. I think that would look really nice.
Who had the jellyfish on? It was one of the winners. It was one of the winners, and I think it was one of the short films. I'm like, what is that?
It looked like one of those enormous jellyfish, or a whole bunch of them stacked on top of each other.
Oh my Lord!
But there were some people who did look amazing.
Melissa McCarthy looked amazing.
Melissa McCarthy looked interesting.
Melissa McCarthy and Brian Tyree Henry presented the costuming awards, and they basically put together a version of every outfit together, smooshed into one.
Yeah.
Melissa McCarthy walks out with bunnies all over her train and a bunny hand puppet, which was cracking the both of us up. I want to say, I don't know which writer was responsible for that. That was comedy brilliance. It was hilarious.
The bunny puppet was killing me. The bunny puppet was absolutely killing me. When she would be talking and the bunny puppet would be moving along like the bunny's talking. When she's trying to open the envelope and the bunny's kind of I couldn't tell if the bunny was trying to help her or if the bunny was fighting her to be the one to open the envelope.
I just don't think she could open it with the bunny puppet on her hand.
See, I just love puppets. I love puppets and I love bunnies, so I'm completely freaking out and enjoying this.
And there were 20 rabbits on the train of that dress.
I know.
It was hilarious.
And you know what? Brilliant. You know what the really funny thing is? Yeah. When we were watching that, all I could think in my head was, "Hey, PETA, bitch about that."
All right.
But I do want to say real quick, there were a few people that looked really great.
Yeah.
I'd like to just say really quickly, Rachel Weisz looked amazing. Mm-hmm. Daniel Craig looked incredible. It was really nice to see Chris Evans.
And don't forget Jason Momoa, who she was sitting there really going into, literally.
I wouldn't mind going into Jason. Never mind. Family show, I know.
Presenting with Helen Mirren.
Yes.
That was
and they both wore pink.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
that's brown. I'm like, no, it's not. He's wearing a pink suit.
No, it was salmon. It was kind of light, very light salmon. Because
I'm like, Jason Momoa is wearing a pink suit.
Hey, real men wear pink. Shout out to Bret Hart. So anyway, let's get to the people who won so we can talk about the people who bitched about the people who won.
Film Twitter was in a little twitty rage today.
Oh.
Best Picture went to Green Book. Not big surprise on my part. Most people were predicting it. Best Actress went to no, that's wrong. Olivia Colman for The Favorite. That was the weirdest acceptance speech I've ever seen. She was so flustered because everyone was so convinced Glenn Close was going to win.
Well, yeah.
And Best Actor to Rami Malek for Bohemian Rhapsody.
Woo! Best Supporting Actress went to Regina King for If Beale Street Could Talk. Also want to bring up Regina King looked amazing.
Yeah, she does.
She
had a great outfit on.
She did.
Looked great.
She looked like $1 billion. Best Supporting Actor went to Mahershala Ali for Green Book. And Best Director went to Alfonso Cuarón for Roma.
For film editing, the winner was Bohemian Rhapsody. Best foreign language film went to Roma from Mexico. I wasn't sure. I thought Cold War might slip in there, but it didn't. And Best Original Score to Black Panther.
Best Original Song went to Shallow from A Star Is Born, which was performed live by Lady Gaga and her co-star Bradley Cooper, which is the one thing...
We'll talk more about that in a minute.
Which is the one thing I was going, please let this happen. Best Production Design went to Black Panther, and Best Visual Effects went to First Man.
Which stunned me. It was the only normal film around four special effects extravaganzas. It's nice to see First Man get recognized too, because it was such a favorite of the critics, and then it just kind of it just kind of went nowhere after that pseudo protesting stuff that was just ridiculous. Adapted screenplay went to Black Klansman. That is Spike Lee's first Oscar. And boy, did he let you know it. Original screenplay went to Green Book, and Best Animated Film to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Woohoo! Best Cinematography, the winner was Roma. Best Costume Design, the winner, the Oscar went to Black Panther. For documentary features, the best documentary winner was Free Solo.
Yep.
Good luck watching that movie.
Free Solo has been a big
I'm saying that to him
hit.
for a specific reason.
Yeah, been a big hit. I've been dying to see this, but I have a thing about heights, and this is about this free climbing crazy person who climbs this gigantic thing.
Okay.
Well, I mean, and to me, I can't handle that stuff.
Let's hear it for brutal honesty. Yay!
But the team's last film, the director's last film, was the exquisitely beautiful Maru. If you didn't see it, M-E-R-U, not to be confused with M-A-R-U from YouTube, Maru. It's a brilliant film, and I got through that one okay, and I didn't think I could. After seeing the clips last night, I still want to see Free Solo. I think it looks great.
I'll hold your hair when you throw up.
I'm not going to be that way. Documentary short subject went to Period, End of Sentence. Possibly the only time we're going to hear the word menstruation a number of said several times in the run of an acceptance speech at the Academy Awards. Because that's what it's about.
Yep.
Makeup and hairstyling went to Vice. Animated short film to Bow.
Live action short film, the Oscar went to Skin. Sound editing, the winner was Bohemian Rhapsody, and sound mixing also went to Bohemian Rhapsody.
So the total for the night, Bohemian Rhapsody walks out with 4 Oscars, including Best Actor. Green Book, Roma, and yeah, I've forgotten already.
Black
Panther each walked out with 3. Needless to say, Film Twitter and the 2% of them that would be called by Jeffrey Wells Woketopians are having a conniption fit almost 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes after the ceremony. Justin Chang of the Los Angeles Times was out there screaming that Green Book was the worst choice for Best Picture since Crash. Manohla Dargis, A.O. Scott, all the Wotopian critics were all over it the minute it happened. I'm like, will you please stop throwing a 5-year-old temper tantrum? Honestly, the movie is beloved by most critics. It has won a number of other awards, and there's been smear campaigns for almost every film nominated for Best Picture this year. I'm sorry, this is one of the times I agree with Bill Maher. He was out there a couple of weeks ago, screaming, why are we eating ourselves with this stuff? It's about the movies. Stop making it about these little things that are so ridiculous just because you don't want that film to win, you want your film to win.
I suppose.
We're biting the hand that feeds us.
I suppose.
I mean, seriously, don't you think that makes sense?
I would agree with that.
I know, except I'm still pissed about the Stan Lee thing.
No, I still hate Bill Maher with the burning hatred of 1,000 exploding suns.
Yike! What brought that on?
His disrespecting of Stan Lee.
Oh, well, yeah, I know, but
burning hatred of 1,000.
You got to give the man. You got to give the man a break. He's kind of stupid when it comes to that.
I don't have to give him jack.
Well, I mean, what I'm saying is, let's have pity on the man. He's dumb when it comes to that stuff. He isn't, and he's so learned and out there for everything else. But when it comes to real class, real talent, he obviously hasn't quite formulated the right thing yet.
Well,
when it comes to Stan, he's
you can say it that way. You can be.
I'm just trying to take the high road and not fall to the level of these idiots online.
I'm not going online name calling him. I'm just saying I'm sitting here.
This is going to be online.
Well, yeah, I realize that, but I'm not going on any place. I'm not seeking out Bill Maher to say how much he sucks. Right. I'm just saying the fact that I hate him. I hate him as a human being. Okay, folks. Jeez. Now we're going to get hit by the Mount Maher haters. Okay. What? Nothing. Well, go ahead. No, I'm not. He's not worth my time. Okay. I'm fine. Just. All right. Well, then let's leave it right there. That's not where I was going. Oh. Where I was going was with this thing you're talking about see, to me, it just seems like all these people want to do is complain. Yeah. If they don't get exactly what they want, everything else sucks. Right. You know who thinks like that? 3-year-olds. Yeah, I know. This is what I mean. These are Jeffrey Wells gave them the nickname Wotopians a few months ago, and I've been kind of picked up on that because it fits. These people have an agenda from the beginning. There are particular things that they have to see win. These guys have tore down Green Book, tore down Roma, tore down a number of other movies, determined to get Black Panther or Black Klansman through, and a couple of other things. And I mean, it's just some of their reasoning is just logic void. Spock would do the whole Spock is unimpressed thing here because they don't make any sense, and do they honestly not realize they're making utter laughingstocks of themselves? Well, not only that, they don't seem to care that all of their yelling and screaming and stuff probably is turning some people off about seeing those films, right? Well, they're going to be like, well, if those assholes like it, then they don't like it. They'll turn them on to seeing these films that they don't like, which is a good thing because Green Book is the lowest rated tomato meter since Crash, and I'm like, yeah, from the critics. No, my point is the films that they're pushing really hard. But they don't push any really hard. They're very careful about that. They tear down the ones they don't want to win without jeopardizing the ones that they do. Well, I just happen to know it because I follow all the ins and outs of stuff. Well, my point is if you're smart enough to do a process of elimination, you can probably figure out the films that they're pushing, and then you're probably going to be like, well, screw that. If these jerks like it, then I'm not interested. Right. But like I said, they've been hot under the collar since Green Book beat If Beale Street Could Talk for the Audience Award at Toronto. They've been having a fit about it since then. Attitude of we have to have what we want exactly the way we want all the time right now is, as I mentioned, the attitude of a 3-year-old. It's called film Twitter. It's annoying. It's annoying with that term from Ann Thompson, by the way. It's annoying with a 3-year-old, but if you tell a 3-year-old to shut the F up, CPS gets called. So you can tell an adult who acts that way to shut the F up. And in the immortal words of Mick Jagger, you can't always get what you want. And also, in the immortal words of Frank Sinatra, that's life.
Ah, yeah, there we go. Oh, we're going to be
well,
in
I
so
think we
much trouble
pissed a whole
now.
bunch of people off now.
You know, I don't really care. I'm so tired of these woke-topians. I just want to throw them out the window. I've had it. You know, because we have always strived to go out and be open-minded about everything. We've not seen 90% of this year's winners because we just didn't have the time or the energy to do it with all the stuff that was going on at the end of last year.
Yeah.
But I will guarantee you, I will probably enjoy 90% of the movies up there because they all have little parts that I like.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge Spike Lee fan, but I love Adam Driver. He's one of my favorite actors on the planet right now, and I will probably enjoy BlacKkKlansman when I get around to watching it. Mm-hmm. Just like I think Mahershala Ali is going to be a superstar for a lifetime.
Yeah.
He's just great in everything he does. Green Book is Viggo Mortensen and him doing. You know, Spike went out and had a temper tantrum after it won Best Picture too, because he was, oh, every time somebody's driving, I lose. Because last time he lost Best Picture to Driving Miss Daisy, which he's been complaining about for 30 years now. And I mean, he couldn't be satisfied by winning the Screenplay Award. I mean, it's like, really?
Well, he
acts like a petulant jerk most of the time anyway. So he's brilliant. He's a brilliant filmmaker, a brilliant writer. But he has the worst attitude on the planet. He really does.
Well, see, that's the thing that I don't get. It's like, this is about movies.
Yeah.
They keep bringing up that the Oscars and the Academy Awards are a celebration of movies. Mm-hmm. Can we go back to that?
Yeah, it'd be nice.
You know, I want... And I'm not saying that every movie has to be singy, dancy, fluffy bunnies and kittens and stuff like that. I'm not saying that.
Can we have a whole movie of Melissa McCarthy in her bunny outfit? That'd be fun.
I just want a whole movie with the bunny.
I'd love that. That'd be fun.
I want a whole movie with the bunny puppet. Just the puppet. That's it. Nobody else in the movie, just the puppet. That's all.
I wonder if he's related to Bunny Rabbit.
You know, I was like, he didn't have the glasses, so that's why I was I was like, he might be though.
Yeah.
But seriously, movies are supposed to be about a celebration of whatever. Like I said, you're not going to come out of every movie singing and dancing because that's just not the way movies work. You're going to come out of some movies pissed off. Yep. You're going to come out of some movies really depressed. You're going to come out of some movies so damn terrified you're going to not want to leave the theater.
You want to go? You want that to happen? Go try watching a documentary called "Do You Trust This Computer?" Scared the living bejesus out of me.
I'm like, for example, I am so glad I did not see Silence of the Lambs in the theater because I would have been like, oh hell no, I'm just going to live in this theater chair for the rest of my life.
A couple of other things real quick. Let's just getting back into
thing, just stuff.
Awkwafina, truly deserving to be on this year's Rising Stars list is where we put her.
She is funny as hell.
Dynamite. She's going to be starring in one of the bigger Sundance films coming out, so we'll be looking forward to that. Mm-hmm. And the one name everybody is on everybody's lips that was missing from the in memoriam last night is the one I said right at the end. Where was Carol Channing? Carol Channing was an Oscar nominee in 1966 for what was that? The Early Modern Millie, and she only passed away just last month. And it's like that's the only name that I heard that really was everybody was like buzzing. Where was Carol Channing? Everybody else was in there. So, and the gentleman that just passed away, Stanley Donen, who passed away this weekend, they didn't apparently have time to get him in there.
I mean, I knew
on
that
Saturday. So
as much as I am still ticked off at Oscars for not including Akira Ifukube, I don't forget that.
They did include Honda when he passed, though.
They did.
And they didn't include D. Kelly the year he passed.
No, they didn't, and we screamed about that too.
But he was mostly known for television for the later part of his career.
See, that's where I'm going. I was a little irked that they didn't include Peter Tork of the Monkees.
Well, he also just did it over this weekend, but he was not. Only did one movie.
I know, but the Monkees were so popular and such.
But it wasn't a movie. They're not movie people. That would be more appropriate for the Grammys. That would be.
Grammy people, don't drop the ball here. Well,
they didn't when Davey passed away.
Well, the one thing I was concerned with the in memorial thing is I was like, if you don't include Stan Lee in this...
Oh, they would have, and he was there, and the cheer went up. And
I am going to go so completely Godzilla on you people, you will have no idea, but they did, so I was happy.
Oh, did you think they wouldn't? I mean, Marvel...
I was scared they wouldn't.
Marvel dominates the damn universe anymore.
I was terrified they wouldn't, considering the fact that they've really effed up a couple of times with people that they haven't included.
Yeah, but not like Stan Lee, he's a freaking legend. Anyway...
So is Akira Ikefube.
Take that, Bilmar.
So is Akira Ikefube. So,
but not to American audiences. Sorry. For those of you who do not know, just in case they're out there, Akira Ikefube is a film composer, wrote most of the kaiju music for Toho Studios, including the legendary Godzilla theme, which is why she had her nose out of joint about that.
Oh, seriously out of joint.
But he deserved it because he did 40, 50 years worth of scores for Toho, and it's like they did leave him out, and it was irritating. So we're going to get out of here. These are the last of the awards.
Yes.
One of the magazines online, I think it was The Week, has already predicted The Irishman from Martin Scorsese will be the Best Picture winner of 2019. Considering they ran the first ad for it last night during the Oscars, it is said to be incredible, the special effects, because I guess they've taken 30 years off of De Niro and everybody in this for part of this film. Yeah. It's Martin Scorsese. But again, it's Netflix. See this past weekend's Subject Cinema for my feelings about Netflix and Oscars. As in, they don't mix. It's like oil and water. One of these things is not like the others. Netflix is a television streaming network, not a film. I mean, if they'd follow the Amazon guide, full wide release for 2 or 3 months before going to Netflix,
right,
then I wouldn't have a problem with them. But they don't. They
don't, and so we have to listen to this.
Because Ted Sarandon is a dick. Anyway.
Well, if I had to go off on somebody, you might as well have too.
So we'll be back with our regular show this coming Sunday. And don't forget, of course, to watch and check out all of our other wonderful podcasts and websites. You know where they are, and if you don't, they're all in the show notes. Take a look. They're all clickable. Come see us. Come join us. And most importantly, come join our Patreon supporters. We have so much we'd like to be able to do, and we do as much as we can without stretching our budget out of shape. And we could do more if we have some Patreon patrons come on board. And don't forget, as of January, for $5 a month on Patreon, you get 3 extra podcasts available only to Patreon patrons. Kim's Kaiju Corner and our 2 Subject Cinema spinoffs, our new version of Microfocus and Freeze Frame, which we're taking out of Subject Cinema and making a show all its own, where we talk about all the gossip and all that stuff. And both of those will premiere in the next week.
Yep. So
come join us. Become a part of the family. Patreon.com/PNRNetworks. For Subject Cinema's 2019 Oscar Spectacular, I'm T.C. Kirkham.
I'm Kim Brown.
May your popcorn always be buttered.
And may your roses always be in bloom.
It's time for 2019 to start.
Yay.
You have been listening to Subject Cinema with hosts T.C. Kirkham and Kim Brown. Subject Cinema is produced by PNRNetworks, Boston, Massachusetts, which is solely responsible for its content. Subject Cinema theme performed by Eric Lyon. Subject Cinema is recorded and produced using Sony Vegas products. Subject Cinema is copyright 2018 by PNRNetworks under a Creative Commons license. Check out a new episode of Subject Cinema every weekend. Until next time, this is Bob Taylor for Subject Cinema, and we'll see you at the movies.
That's all.
Podcasting's choice. From coast to coast, continent to continent, right here 24/7.